Welcome back to another 15 Minutes of Fame. My name is Goldie. And of course, today it's going to be another rendition of learning about how to be effective in the world of events and industry. But then it's COVID life. It's what is today? April 26th, something like that, I believe. And 24?
Yeah.
24. Sure. Sounds great. You can see already a little bit of confusion and a little bit of whirlwind going on in my head. I'm trying to collect my thoughts. I'm trying to be very poignant because we have 3 points to talk about in this particular interview today. Today, I'm joined with Bryan Allen. Bryan Allen is producer of a company known as PopFizz Productions. They do in-studio and out-of-studio media creation, be it video, print, picture, all the things, which means they're working with every line of production when it comes to a shoot. Could be catering, could be cameras, could be lights, could be the list is long. It's always creative. So I'm going to let Bryan take it away from here, kind of let you know who he is, how long he's been in the industry, and all the things that he does. And then we have 3 ways a media company can jump back into business a month and some change now after COVID-19 has been throwing curveballs at us all year long. So Bryan, tell us who you are. Take it away, brother.
Thanks, Goldie. Thanks for having me, man. It's an honor to be here. Yeah, you mentioned my company's name is PopFizz. We create still photography, video assets, animation for brands, agencies, networks, live events all over the world. We're based in the Southeast in Knoxville, Tennessee, but we work all over the place. I met you, I think, in Switzerland. So, we get out there and get around. And we do a host of production. We do, commercial stuff for brands. We do linear television, but we also do live events. We've done quite a bit of that as well. So I think that's what you're more interested in today, but it's really pretty similar for us. I mean, probably 90% of the production we do, no matter what the distribution model, is location based. So we're out of the office, out in the real world, and, post COVID, that's going to impact everything we do. So
well, and you're media on a very large scale, but the type of business you do is very parallel to a 2-person team. Like
Sure.
If you're just getting started with your DSLR and you've got your new light and you got your studio backdrop and you're like, sick, let's make content. You just happen to have been how long have you been doing it, Bryan?
Well, I've been a photographer really all my life. PopFizz is in its 8th year. And I've been doing video production for probably 4 or 5 years before that. So I've been doing this for 10 to 15 years professionally. I've been a creative, all my life, really.
Got it. So, and that's just sort of the idea that we want people to take away from this interview is to understand that, even if on a major scale, if you're in a Hollywood studio or if you are in a small room that you rented in your hometown, and there are going to be some ideas to acclimate to moving forward into post-COVID era when it comes to how we do our job. There's 3 ways. I want to talk about these 3 ways. They're not the only 3 ways, but they're the 3 ways that you are going to move your company and you yourself into this movement. The first way I'd like to talk to you about, you let me know that there's an emotional part. Number 1, the emotional part of moving back into post-COVID. What does that mean, Bryan?
Well, the emotional part to me is kind of the human piece, right? So, and I think everybody can relate to this as COVID has swept across our country. I think everybody has a different emotional reaction to it, and a different way of dealing with all the things that come along with it, and that will continue to be the case. So, if you're on a set and there's 10 or 15 or 20 or 50 people, you can guarantee pretty much everybody on that set is going to have sort of a different level of stress, a different level of anxiety, a different level of willingness to adhere to protocol and procedure versus just saying, fuck it, we're going to do it the way we've always done it. So I really think managing the human element and just being aware and more cognizant of and being kind of willing to, maybe cater to people a little more. And that doesn't just mean your crew, that means your clients and your clients' clients. And, a production, a set. I just think there's going to be a lot of a lot more emotional elements to deal with than you've had to deal with in the past. And sets can be a pretty emotional place to begin with. So I think this will just ratchet all of that up, and you're going to have to be prepared, have to have the human skills, have to have the human people, producers, handlers in place, and protocols to handle kind of all of that aspect of production after COVID.
There will be sort of like a more, I guess, what would you say, a connected feeling, because people are cautious of people's space and a little bit more respectable or respective of those zones. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah. I think you just have to realize everybody, everybody's just in an emotionally different place potentially, and adhere to that, kind of consider that in what you're doing.
Okay, so as a producer, that would be number one, is to be empathize with the knowledge that your set now has more of a human feeling about it and needs to be empathetic to all people on set, no matter what their role is, right? If it's
it's just a real lead actor. You have no idea if somebody's actually been impacted by COVID directly, had a loss in their family or loved one. And you may have been in a smaller town where nothing happened at all. It seemed like a big waste of your time and energy. And when you pull sets together, particularly at a big international event or whatever, people are coming from all over the world with all kinds of different, just perspectives and actual impact they may have dealt with from the virus.
Got it. Let's move on. Really good point about the emotional part. That kind of sets the tone of this entire interview. 2, we got to make money. The money part, man. This is it. How do we go back to making money?
Yeah. Well, that's going to be different for different companies, different size, different scales, all that kind of stuff. But I think my point I wanted to make on the money part of it is, we are still running businesses, and, here in the US, at least, the government is propping up some of us smaller businesses for a while. But, that's not going to last. We can't depend on that. So somehow, we have to figure out what business models work post-COVID, and we don't know. We don't know whether demand is going to surge or everything's going to trickle back in. But I think just put on your business cap and get back into the mindset of, I've got to create a business model that works, given supply and demand and all that kind of stuff. And I guess not be married to your current business model, because it may not work anymore. In our case, we hire a lot of our employees as full-time employees. A lot of production companies are more like a Rolodex and of freelancers. I love having employees. I love having a team and a vibe and an energy around that and a consistency around that my clients love. But I don't know, that business model may not work. So I think we got to be open and flexible in terms of that, and just keep thinking of it as a business.
So I'm going to segue, and I'm going to chew a little time off the money part so we can discuss how the next subject reflects the money part. And that is number 3, the technical side, the practical part. What are media creation companies physically going to do post-COVID that will reflect the money part and will reflect the human part? Points 2 and 1. Go ahead, Bryan.
Well, I think there's a whole host of things. We've started as a company kind of thinking through just the nuts and bolts of doing production after COVID. What's that going to mean? And I think there's some real practical things, like we know sets are going to be skinnier. Like clients, people, or you're just not going to be able to have as many people packed into a production.
Who do you cut?
How do you operate with skinnier sets? You're going to have less PAs. You're going to have less non-essential people. So, the camera guy may actually have to work a little harder. May have to carry his own gear, simple things like that. But it's just that notion of skinnier sets with less essential people. How do you make that work? Clients themselves are maybe not going to even want to be on set, but they're going to want to know what's going on. So having the ability to remotely monitor what's on camera, having that technical capability to get that out there and let people actually see what you're doing without being physically present. It's going to be a big deal.
Okay, so one of the points in point number 3 here is that you're going to do less people. What about cleanliness, sanitation? How are you going to handle that?
Well, we're actually thinking there's new roles or a new department on set, the cleanup department. Now we always clean up and whatnot and run a clean set, but I mean, I think you're going to have people dedicated to the act of not just cleaning up and keeping things straight and leaving it the way it was, but actually disinfecting and just continuously. So, taking things off a camera, that's going to have to go through a set of hands and be clean before another set of hands touches it. Just, we use a lot of metal and a lot of things that hold this virus for a long time. So cleaning the set, cleaning doorknobs, I think you're going to have a new department, new people, new roles. So that's all they do. It's all they're focused on.
Well, and I mean, if you're a PA and you're worried about getting your job cut, that's how you shift. All of a sudden you're like, hey, cool. And this is this is kind of a big picture idea all of a sudden, because now it's starting to show that every job is important, right? The director is as important as the person who's cleaning, right? Yep. It's not a trickle down. It's a sideways horizontal bar. We're all looking to get one thing done. We're all working together. We still have a little bit of time. Keep going.
Earlier, like that role, as you said earlier, it relates to the business too, because if you want to get business, you're going to have to be able to prove to your clients, because they don't want to take on the liability. They're going to probably try to make it your liability. So you better get ready for that. How are you going to protect yourself if you introduce the virus into the world? But more importantly, where I was going with that is, you're going to have to be able to prove that you have the protocol and the procedure and the capability and the mindset of taking it serious enough to assure a client that they can safely work with you. So, as it gets back to like the nuts and bolts of it, I think production companies, whether you're a 1 or 2 man running gun shop or you're running a 50-person set, you're still going to have protocol and procedure that gives clients an assurance that you can run a buttoned up operation and a clean operation.
Yeah, no, and I think that's it's this industry itself that is probably one of the better industries to choose to learn how to pivot, adjust, and change. I mean, if it's production, what happens in production? Here's your script. Oh, we're changing everything. Okay. So, what a better group of people to have this happen to. So I want to recap. I want to go over what we've talked about, the 3 points of what a media creation company can do to pivot and change and be ready for post-COVID activity so that you're a working company. Number 1, we talked about the human part. A director, on-set human beings need to understand that we have to appreciate each other's space, respect each other's surroundings, and gosh, I think you'll just feel it. It's hard to actually say you're going to put a tangibility on that, but you'll feel it. It's like when you find a good friend to talk to at the bar. It's like you just know you're going to be here for hours. Yeah. Number 2, Bryan, was the money part, and discussing how to continue to find money, which is in direct relation to the 3rd point, which is the technical changes. And I think one of them right there, the high point, was showing your clients that you are a post-COVID ready production company, meaning that if they send their talent, if they send their whoever to you, that everyone's going to be safe. And they're like, you know what? PopFizz and all their crew have taken a great job making sure that our sets are clean. They're wiping things down. They're wiping lenses. They're wiping down chairs. And in a way, that results back into number 2, the money part, because you're showing, number 1, the human part about how you take care. So that is the 3 ways to move back into the scene, to be a productive, positive, forward-moving company. Do you agree with all that stuff, Bryan? Because ultimately, those were your points.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think you nailed it. No, it is. I'm glad you saw sort of the interconnection between them. To me, they are all interconnected. Being a good citizen in a production, right? Having empathy and love for the people you're working with. That's just good business, right? Now, there are some practical business things. You're going to have to figure out how to do business under the new model. But it all comes down to, like, can you execute? Can you execute in a way that works as a business? And can you do that in a way that honors and loves people, whether they be your clients or your crew?
With that being said, we have just a few seconds left here in this 15 Minutes of Fame interview. So, Bryan, tell us once again your company. This company should be known as a post-COVID ready company. So, Bryan, who are you working with, and where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on at ballen, BALLEN, at gopopfizz.com. Our company is called PopFizz Productions. We're out of Knoxville, Tennessee. But we have cameras, will travel, work all over the world. Look forward to seeing you at another worldwide event sometime soon. Let's maybe do Switzerland again. That was fun.
I would not disagree. I'm with you. All right, brother. Thank you for the 15 Minutes of Fame, and we are out.